Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video on this hot summer day. And today's a special day because I have finished another collection. You guys know I'm not a big completionist collector. I don't collect complete sets, or really I don't collect games in general. I just buy games I want to play and put them on my shelf, so that's my collection basically. One exception is the Master System. I get every cool and interesting game for that console, and there's one subset on the Master System that always intrigued me and that got me really interested, and I thought, okay, I'm going for a complete collection of these games. What I'm talking about are the Sega Card Games. In Japan they are known as the Sega My Cards, and just the Sega Card in the West. I have a complete Western collection of the Sega cards. There are only 10 games released in the West, and there were a handful more in Japan, but I have a complete collection of these card games. One problem with these card games is that they are harder to find than the cartridges. Many games were later re-released or as cartridge. For example, here we have, give me a second, Teddy Boy on card and Teddy Boy on cartridge. The cartridge is a lot easier to find and a lot cheaper. The card game is a lot more rare and it is a bit more expensive. That goes for all of these games. When we open this up, it's a very slim case in comparison to the cartridge cases. It's a very thin and slim case. The back doesn't tell us much. The cover is usually this hand holding the cartridge, and it's actually like normal size, so you could actually like do this and hold your cartridge. It's really cool. And we open this up. There is a manual and a card. One problem I have with these cases, if you don't have this little plastic sleeve and you just put them in there, they just fall out. There's nothing holding them. So I will get, for all the games that are loose right now, get one of these little back cases things, just so they hold in the slot right here. There are 10 games in total. We have, let's put a little stack together, 10 games in total for the Sega card format in the West. And I'm going to go through all of them with you today. At the very last, I'll show you the 3 hardest games to find and the 3 most expensive games, so take a look at these games if you find them in a store near you. Hey guys, I was just editing this video and I realized I was missing a game. I forgot it on my shelf, I didn't even notice. That's Bank Panic. So I'm not going to talk about Bank Panic in this video, but it's another game relatively common, not as expensive, and relatively fun. One of the more earlier games. So have fun with the other games now. Super Tennis, one of the more common games. Another game that's relatively common is My Hero. A very interesting side-scrolling games. Of course, all of these games were released on the cartridge format, so you can easily find them and play them. And almost all of these are Sega early games for the console. We have a Ghost House, another common one. In here we have the little card, of course re-released as a cartridge, so get it if you can. I've heard that it wasn't re-released in the US, so only Europe got re-releases of the cards in cartridge format. One of the worst games on the console, F-16 Fighter, or the US version is F-16 Fighting Falcon, so another name entirely, just a plain game. It's really not that noteworthy. Only that it requires the SG-1000 backwards compatibility, so it doesn't play on a power base converter. We have Teddy Boy. Teddy Boy is a really cool game, highly recommend this one. Of course you can find it on cartridge as well, it's a lot cheaper, but I highly recommend if you have a Master System, get Teddy Boy as well. This is probably the best game on the card format. Okay, we have another one that's relatively common, Transport. It's like Transformers clone, a sequel to a SG-1000 game, and yeah. This one comes with the little plastic sleeves I told you about and showed you on this game. It's an okay game, nothing special, but it's an okay game. Those are 7 games that are relatively common. So these you can find for maybe 10 to 20 euros a piece. These are a bit more expensive. This here is the weirdest one, because it's not a Sega arcade game, it's not even an earlier game, it's a more or less later game. Not as late, but really later game, I think 87, 88, 87. Yes, and I'm really surprised this one got a card release for some reason. I don't know why, but Spy vs. Spy, maybe because I didn't grow up with it, but I didn't think it's too great. I only played it briefly, but yeah. So Spy vs. Spy, if you're a fan, get the card version, of course re-released on cartridge as well. It has another cover in the US that doesn't have the hand, so I didn't want that, I wanted the hand cover. Okay, this year is probably the hardest game to find on the card format, that's Great Soccer. Why this is so hard to find? Mine has been tiered up, but I got for it relatively cheap price, too expensive for a very bad sports game on the Master System, but still. Why this is so hard to find is because it was never re-released on cartridge. Don't get confused with Great Soccer in the US, that's actually World Soccer, and Great Soccer, this version, only got released in the UK and Germany and only on the card format, and of course in Japan as well. But it got never a US release and never a cartridge release. That's why this one is so expensive and you need this for a complete Master System collection. And this one is the hardest to find complete in box. This one isn't. It's a printed cover, you can probably see it. But I'm not paying the outrageous prices just for a cover. So I have the game and the manual. The very early games actually came with these side-bound menus instead of the like very flimsy European style menus you'll see later. But I'm not paying the extra prices just for a cover. And why this one is so hard to find complete in box is because it was a pack-in for the Master System and it was never released with a box, except for Australia and Italy. So if you find a box, it's from Australia or Italy. It was never released in a box anywhere else. It goes for quite a bit of money complete, so I just made my own case. I'm happy with that. I have every game I have. I'm missing a couple of manuals and I'm missing an inlay, but that's fine by me. Anyway, just wanted to give you a quick look at a complete Master System card collection. There are a couple of videos on YouTube about these, but they're all US collections, so they only have like 7 games, maybe 8, I don't remember. I know they don't have Great Soccer and they don't have Hang On, but there are 10 in total and I have all of them. Thank you for watching. My Master System collection is growing. This subset is now complete. And it's just a nice little thing to have. I was always interested in these, finally got a couple of them a couple of months ago and the bug bit me and I had to get all of them. So I now have all of them and I didn't buy one on eBay. So that's pretty cool, in my opinion. I got all of these from different collectors and different people I knew or met by buying all of these games. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.